IMF warns of very serious repercussions if U.S. defaults on debt obligations. The International Monetary Fund, or IMF, has warned that the U.S. defaulting on its debt obligations would have very serious repercussions on both the American and global economies. IMF Director of Communications, Julie Kozak, was asked at a press briefing on Thursday about the knock-on effects on the global economy, particularly the emerging markets, of the debt ceiling crisis that is happening now between the White House and the Congress, with the prospect of a potential default as early as June 1st. Our assessment is that there will be very serious repercussions, not only for the U.S., but also for the global economy should there be a U.S. debt default. And we strongly encourage the parties in the U.S. to come together to reach a consensus to urgently address this matter. She was further asked to elaborate on what some of those consequences might be for other countries, particularly developing economies. The IMF director said, one of the repercussions, of course, we could potentially see is higher interest rates, some broader instability and economic repercussions, emphasizing that we have seen a world in the last few years that have been affected by many shocks, she stressed. We would want to avoid those severe repercussions. And for that reason, we again are calling on all of the parties to come together, reach consensus, and resolve the matters quickly as possible. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has warned that the Treasury may not be able to pay all of the government bills as early as June 1st if the Congress does not raise or suspend the debt limit before that time. The Congressional Budget Office, or CBO, similarly estimated that a U.S. default could occur in early July. The IMF spokesperson was also asked about the impact of the regional banking crisis in the US, as we have transitioned from a period of low interest rates to a period of higher interest rates. And that transition has taken place quite rapidly. It has exposed some vulnerabilities in some banks, particularly here in the United States. The authorities in the United States have taken rapid actions to address those vulnerabilities, and that is most welcome. But it's very important that policymakers remain vigilant as more hidden vulnerabilities may emerge in this new high interest rate environment. This is becoming a trend. More and more people are calling to the government saying, increase the debt limit or something bad's going to happen. And they don't really know what's going to happen because this has never really happened. A debt default would basically mean that the United States is bankrupt. Our credit worthiness would get downgraded like a mofo. And then we're no better than other emerging economies in terms of getting credit. And that's a bad thing when your money's based on credit. Who's going to buy your treasuries? You're not worth the money your bills are printed on if you don't have any credit rating, because fiat currency is based on faith. But if you take away that confidence and that faith, it becomes paper. But raising the debt limit means you and me, have to pay more money in income tax to service that debt. So you'll see all these central bankers and regulators calling for it.